We have some massive Patriots updates ahead of their Week 4 matchup versus the Carolina Panthers, and I'm telling you what, this is going to have some serious implications on the rest of the Patriots season as we talk about a guy who seems like he's ready to get going. Welcome to Patriots Digest, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show. Going to be a little more consistent throughout the next couple weeks and into the rest of the season, so if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've noticed that 87% of you who watch these videos, you're not yet subscribed. What are you waiting for? Is it a commitment issue? I promise you, we're going to be here all season, so go down there, hit that subscribe button for Patriots content all throughout the 2025 NFL season. The Patriots have an interesting contest coming up against the Carolina Panthers in a game that they, in theory, should win. Keyword in theory there. Now, the Panthers have looked better in the past couple weeks. Last week, of course, winning 30-0 over the Atlanta Falcons. However, the Patriots, they're on the up and up for a couple of different reasons. The first being the hopeful return of Christian Gonzalez, which is today where we start our show with the injury report, talking about it from both sides of the ball and both teams as well. We start first with the officially ruled out players for Sunday's contest. For the Patriots, only one guy was officially ruled out. That is Jarrod Wilson. We'll talk about him in just a moment. For the Panthers, though, Xavier Legette, TreVeyon Sanders, Patrick Jones II, and DJ Wonnum. Those are all going to be your out players for the Panthers. Legette he was a first-round pick last year. I think he might be on the trading block by the end of this. TreVeyon got hurt last season. He's out. Nothing really here strikes me as, oh my gosh, something to look for the Panthers side. So let's talk about Wilson, though, because he is a decently key piece, and the Patriots are going to have to go with a different starter, which is where we get the report from Bernd Buckmeister of Pat's Pulpit. Love the name, by the way. He says, quote, with Wilson out, the Patriots will insert veteran Ben Brown into their starting lineup against the Panthers. So Ben is a guy who has an interesting history with the New England Patriots. Last year, he was picked up off the Las Vegas Raiders practice squad and placed onto our 53-man roster. I want to say that was not too long ago, back in 2024. It was early part August or late part of August in 2024, so before last season got going and official. And Mike Vrabel spoke highly of him, talked about how they trust him and believe he's going to be doing a good job. So here's the quote from Vrabel on that account. He says, Ben's here because we believe in him. He's worked at center, he's worked at guard through camp, and again, he'll compete. I'm excited to see him play. Everybody's here for a reason. Take advantage of your opportunity, and I'm sure that's what Ben will do, end quote. I think it's good. I think there is definitely going to be a difference from Jarrod Wilson to Ben Brown, and that's not a bad thing for Jarrod Wilson or for Ben Brown, but more just because I trust Jarrod Wilson a little bit more. But again, the offensive line has actually been relatively impressive when you think about what it came from last season, partially in fact to the two rookie guys, including Wilson, including Campbell. So that's going to be a good thing there, but we'll have to see how it goes. Ben Brown is part of last year's offensive line, which I wanted to just kind of start over with that, but it is what it is. So let's go into the Patriots and Panthers questionable players, and finally we get it here. Christian Gonzalez, for the first time in this entire season, has been listed as questionable. Now, technically, I know what you're going to say, well, he was listed as questionable last week. This is true. However, before game time occurred on Saturday of last week, they ruled him out. That does not seem like that will be the case this time. It seems like he's going to be questionable all the way until Sunday morning, in which we'll get the official result of whether he's playing or not. Kayvon Chaisson and Michael Onwenu also in the questionable notion. Chaisson and Onwenu, they seem like they're going to be good to play. Honestly, for Mike, it was more about just the Patriots doing the right thing in terms of reporting injuries for the NFL rather than him being on there. For the Panthers, though, there's a couple of interesting questionable guys. Chuba Hubbard, who is their main running back, is dealing with a calf injury. On top of that, their main wide receiver this year and their first-round pick out of Arizona, Teron McMillan, his questionable with a calf injury. Also, their defensive tackle, Tershawn Wharton, he actually had a pretty good NFL career. Most recently played with the Chiefs. He's got a hamstring injury that he is questionable with. I think, again, most of those guys are turning toward playing, just as the Patriots. You would expect Kayvon Chaisson, Michael Onwenu. The hope is for Christian Gonzalez to play, but at the same time, we don't officially know what that's going to look like just because it's Christian Gonzalez, and honestly, the season has been a big question mark for him in so many different ways. And so let's kind of talk about it here, about another report from Bernd Buckmeister of Pat's Pulpit. He says, quote, edge, Kayvon Chaisson and quarterback Christian Gonzalez also seem to be trending toward playing. Chaisson was a full participant Friday after missing Wednesday's session and being limited in his return on Thursday, while Gonzalez was limited all week. Couple of good things I like. Limited all week is a good thing for Christian Gonzalez. You're not going to just throw him into a practice. I think you're more likely to make him limited in practice and use him in the game. I would be a little cautious for the Patriots just because I think if there's a time to bring back Christian Gonzalez, I don't know if we should push him here against the Panthers. A different situation, maybe I would say yes against the Panthers. I don't trust their wide receivers. I don't think Bryce Young is a great quarterback. And I'm not pushing Christian Gonzalez back or pushing him forward to basically make him try and play instead of waiting the extra week, allowing that hamstring to be fully healthy before you're able to put him out there. So that's kind of the way that I look at that. But besides that, I want to talk about a couple other things. He was a late addition to the injury report. He was a full participant in Friday's practice, though, and Vrable said he wasn't too concerned. Said, quote, "Yeah, nothing. We have to do it just for the sake of doing it and making sure we are, quote, following the rules," which, again, it's like I said, I think that was more towards like, oh, yeah, the NFL requires us to report every injury, and so we're going to report that as well. With this being said, we got one more thing to talk about here in today's video involving Kyle Williams, but I want to ask a question before that. With the game coming up on Sunday, what do you think the final score will be? I want you to predict it in the comments section down below. Predict the final score of the Patriots versus the Panthers game for this upcoming Sunday. Let me know in the comments section your thoughts. I'd really appreciate your 2 cents. For me, I think the Patriots win for sure. I think this is a win that they should easily get. I don't think this should be a problem. In a lot of ways, I really expect the Patriots to go out there and use maybe some more fun offensive style plays. And I think that's a tough thing to say, but it's something I expect, especially against a defense that I do not trust. And that's exactly where I go into my next topic, Kyle Williams. He has been basically MIA. He was, your third-round pick out of Washington State and had a couple of catches last week, and you kind of think that, okay, it's his time. He's finally going to start getting some processing because this wide receiver room has been pretty much Kayshon Boutte and the field. And you got Stefon Diggs in there too, I guess, but the percentages have kind of been a little whomping, in my opinion, the way I expected them to be. And I think that the one benefit for the Patriots, you talk about some depth issues they have. I think wide receiver, they're actually in a pretty decent spot, but they haven't been using Eftham Chisholm. They haven't been using Kyle Williams. And so in that light, I think it's time to start using him. And so Mike Vrabel was asked about Kyle Williams this week and talked about how I think that actually might be an increased role, maybe not this week, hopefully this week, but at least in the coming weeks. Here's what he said, quote, "The ones we've thrown to him, he's caught. Just keep building a role for him, get everybody some opportunities, and let the quarterback throw the guy that's open." Which, if I look at film, personal opinion here, personal take, I think Kyle Williams has been open more than he's gotten the ball. But that could obviously be attributed to a bunch of different things. And so I'm hopeful that we're going to see more from him. I'm hopeful we're going to see a breakout game here in the next coming weeks, but can't guarantee that, and we'll have to kind of wait and see. I do, however, think if Christian Gonzalez is back, I think it should be a cut and dry win for the Patriots. But again, I don't think this year nothing has been cut and dry, so we'll have to wait and see. We appreciate you watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section on this Sunday's game and what you're thinking for it. Again, get that score prediction down there if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time here on Patriots Digest. Peace out, guys.